Hello, this is Catherine Dubberly, the Answer Lady. I'm a big fan of Kiss Looms. I greatly enjoy mine, and I am cooperating with Kelly at Kiss Looms to make you a playlist of all the basic techniques that you might ever want to know on all of the looms. So welcome and enjoy. Everything's on the gathering yarn now, and here's a nice view of the two sets of stitches. These are our purl stitches. These are our knit stitches. And we can just lift it gently off the loom, making sure not to snag anything on a peg or a pin. And I like to go from the inside first, gathering the purl stitches. Here we go. They're pretty much gathered as much as they can be now before we finish. Let me poke my needle to the outside. We won't need it much longer, but I don't want to lose track of it. The knit stitches started to gather while I was tugging. And here they are, truly finishing up. See how tidy that looks? Now if I take my yarn needle and my yarn, I have way more than I need. So from experience, I know that it's better to just snip it off and shorten it right now so that I can work my yarn needle through the center gathers and secure them. What I'm doing is going around again. I'm a big believer in making this step very secure. This is all that holds the hat together. And if it comes undone, the hat will start to unravel, which is repairable. But do you want this to happen in the middle of a 20-degree day? I don't think so. So I come to the inside with my gathering thread and needle, and I'm going to knot it. Now I have here an additional loop of yarn that sometimes occurs when you're using one thread to gather two layers. I don't worry about that fact or get too fussy about it. The goal is to get this drawn in good. So I'm just going to use it as it is to make sure that happens. Knot it securely, tie a square knot. Now this should not come undone, and all I have to do is weave in these ends and snip off the excess. Here's one of several ways of weaving in with the yarn needle. Now that's not in anybody's way. And I think I can do both of these at once. We'll do the same thing with the pair of them, and I think they'll hide all right. And we'll snip these ends. All right, our hat is just about finished. We need a couple more refinements. There are your cables. Now you did them. You know they weren't hard, but they do look intricate, don't they? That's a really nifty cable. This is where I had joined a yarn, and my join is got one of its ends sticking out, so I'll have to pull that through and weave it in. Let's compare this to the first hat. Remember, this one is 10 rows longer. So they're very much alike, except for there's extra length on hat number 2. And of course, there are cables on hat number 2. They should be the same width. And they pretty much are. Cables have a tendency to pull in a little bit, but when you're only crossing 1 by 1 cables, which we were, one stitch over 1 stitch, then 1 stitch over 1 and 1 over 1, the pulling in is much less pronounced than if you took, say, 3 stitches over 3 stitches.